not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening today? If you have a case that is in a family preference case or employment based, this video is for you because we're going to talk about the December visa bulletin. It came out a couple weeks ago, obviously not months. So my name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, and we accept clients from across the world, helping you solve your immigration problem. Okay, folks. So you're welcome to drop down you have a question, you're welcome to drop it down in the comment section, chat box, or share your experience. A lot of folks have joined us on a live show and shared us their situation, and a couple months later, they share you typically a success story. But sometimes some of y'all have some legal immigration problems. So that's why I want to share some scenarios, of course, sometime almost pretty much every day, so that you're not the only one, okay? But even with that being said, you need to have a game plan. You need to know what to do after something happens, like a request for evidence or notice of intent to deny. All right, so the visa bulletin, I'm not going to go in complete detail. That's not the purpose of this video, of course, but it's talking about the problems with the visa bulletin. So let me pull it up here. Unfortunately, I can only share it based on my software. I can only share it on YouTube and Facebook. So let me go ahead and do that. If you are not familiar with the visa bulletin, and you might need to know about it, okay? If you're wondering, well, can I file for my spouse, but I'm a resident? You need to know about the visa bulletin. If you If you try to sponsor your adult child, maybe it's still technically child, but adult child, you need to know the visa bulletin. If you want to sponsor your sibling, whether married or not, you need to know the visa bulletin, and especially because the very first step of a case is a petition. And you might think, oh, gravy, that's with USCIS. But ultimately, after the petition, it moves the case to the National Visa Center. Consider the National Visa Center as like a holding place, okay? And then after your, post-pandemic process is that National Visa Center will hold your case file. I mean, everything's electronic these days, but they still have a physical file, as far as I know. And then when your priority date reaches or shows up on the visa bulletin, okay, let me see right here. I can share it right here. There's two charts, by the way. I'm not going to go full detail of explanation what this is, but a chart A and a chart B. The first thing you look at is chart B. And they have it for two different reasons. Chart B is really to open up the gateway essentially so you can upload the financial documents, things like that as a sponsor. But you can see here on F4, that is for sponsoring your sibling, and you're a U.S. citizen. Aside from China, India, Mexico, and Philippines, they're working on cases at priority date March 2008. That's bonkers, man. That is bonkers. It's 2023 right now. It's 15 years from now. So yes, conservatives all the time say, oh, the chain migration, blah, blah, blah. I like to call it family inclusion, okay? But even that, it's taking forever. Let me make it bigger. Forever. And so the conservatives don't understand, media doesn't understand how to explain this, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for, okay? So with that being said, for chart B, let's say for if you're sponsoring your spouse and you're a resident, or your children and you're still a resident, they're working on cases F2A September 2023. So that's pretty soon. I mean, that's pretty recent. I mean, it's frustrating, folks. It's totally frustrating. I say that because this is a December visa bulletin. If you go back the past 2 months, November bulletin and pretty sure also October bulletin showed September 2023. So it has not moved the needle. It's very frustrating. If anything, I think it's disrespectful. But keep in mind, whether you get your emotions up there, they do have visa limitations. So on Facebook and YouTube, you can see this. They have visa limitations. 77% of visas for a family base go to this category F2A. So with that being said, that's why you can see here, this is 2023. They work because they can issue visas on this category F2A, the majority of them. That's why it's a little bit more up to date, but it's still freaking slow. September 2023. So whereas the other ones are like 2017, 2010. But here's the deal, folks. Even though, actually right here, chart B, a lot of people get frustrated. I'm frustrated, but chart B shows September 2023. But on chart A, it says February 2019. February 2019. That is ridiculous. So what does this mean? You're like, John, why is John frustrated? So chart A shows the cutoff time when the visas can be ready. It looks at both ways. When the visas can be ready to be issued to you or held up, essentially. So I've had a situation where some people may be allowed to, under chart B, for the sponsor to upload documents. And maybe you might have been lucky to get the visa interview, but really it might have been premature because of the recent situation the past year, well, not recent, I guess the past year or two. F2A has shown February, something really backdated, February 2019. So if you're looking at this, you're still wondering what the hell does this mean? This means if your priority date is January 2019, for example, or earlier, then yes, your visa can be issued to you. Now, if your priority date is March 2019, then the government cannot issue the visa to you. So even if you had the interview already and you're like, well, what the hell is taking so long? You didn't have to do the DS 5535 form. You didn't get a 221G. Well, unfortunately, you still have to wait for this to open up. Consider it like a portal, okay? Basically. All right. So hopefully that helps, folks. I can go on and on about this stuff, but not much has changed. Yeah, Tony, I'm trying to look younger with the cap. I worked out this morning, went to the gym. I'm trying to go 3 times a week. So I shared a story on TikTok earlier that we're creating good habits. Okay. I have created really strong, good habits for the team, and I'm finally thinking about my own health. So, so habit in terms of law firm, for example, is when a client wants to schedule a meeting, we are completely open to it. Internally, you don't see this as a client or as a fan of our channel, is that when a client says a meeting, it automatically creates like a template of agenda so that our team knows exactly what to consider, because we have meetings for every different type scenario: regular client meeting, a meeting about request for evidence, a meeting about NOID if we're taking over a case, that's the typical situation, or a meeting about client preparation on an interview, right? So those are 3-4 main types of meetings we have with clients, for example. And so you want a team. If you're considering to hire a lawyer, which of course I recommend it, but if you are, it doesn't have to be us. Okay, we help a lot of people. We're very fortunate. But if you're looking for a lawyer, especially local to you, we're here in Houston, Texas. We accept clients all across the world and anywhere in the United States. But if you want someone close to you, I get it. But here's the deal. You need to know a little bit more about the process. Don't look at it just the dollar sign. I know you can get caught up in that. I can understand, but if you're looking at a certain dollar sign, I'm sure there's several other attorneys that have a similar dollar sign. You know what I mean? So my point is, make sure you hire an attorney, a law firm that that you care about certain things. Maybe you care about filing your case in a certain amount of time. Like if you're asking in 1 week time, it might be a little difficult. Okay. I mean, even clients don't usually give us documents in 1 week, but I know some people do want it in 15 days, and we have that available as an extra fee. But anyways, let me get down to the comments here. Let me start with Instagram. What's up, y'all? IGers. Is that even a word? You applied for it originally? What you apply for? What you talking about? Oh, the lottery. Can my uncle apply for me? No, your uncle cannot apply, cannot sponsor you. Unfortunately, that is not even on the list of options. It has to be a parent who's a resident or citizen or spouse or sibling. Okay, now next question. Let's see here. Jack, what's going on? Welcome back. Can a U.S. citizen born child file for parents at 21 and the parents have a deportation order because asylum was denied? Would that still be considered an India corporate job, GC? Um, Either way, whether it's family based or employment based, you're going to run into a couple things. Okay. The deportation order, you got to get that vacated. Okay. So, and even when that is, I want to call it magically vacated, but depending on the situation, we in some cases we've been able to request, send a request. We finally get a response for people who have been removal order. They've been very, very slow. But when certain courts have got back to us, it's been both ways, positive and negative. The negative one, when there's a prior order, was the credibility. They went back into the file. They wanted to see like the specifics of the order from the judge, and credibility was an issue. So that's the thing. If you know your credibility is an issue from a prior case a long time ago, I would feel bad to a separate case. Now that I know the situation that it looked this detailed, right? But for another family member, we were able to get it reopened, okay, because they had a petition approved. Petition pending, depending on the situation. If it's family preference, and it'd probably take a long time. But if it's immediate relative, then we can look at it. But hopefully that helps. But in general, if you have, yeah, I don't know if you're talking about yourself, Jack, or someone else, but yeah, you can. In general, if you had to pick one, per se easier through 21-year-old or plus older child. Okay, hopefully that helps. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Sunny, how long does 221G usually take? Which country of nationality? Where was the embassy? It unfortunately there's no black and white table in terms of which country, nationality, or embassy. But generally, for example, like location, if your interview took place in Islamabad, Pakistan, Manila, Philippines, Iran, countries that. Well, I don't know why Pakistan takes a long time, but I think I think I do know. So unfortunately, post 9/11 still, even so, like, there's just something that we don't know in the public that, oh, she's from Canada and went to Montreal. Okay. Well, Canadians still also get some heat on the 221G. What was the reason? Are you able to share here? But sometimes a good amount of people that call us, they get 221G, and you're like, well, we didn't have to provide the 255 DS 5535 like that I've mentioned before, but they don't ask for anything. They're just your case is kind of put in a placeholder, like in a black swamp, or black hole. What do I call black swamp? The black hole or a swamp, and it's just sitting there, sinking. Doesn't mean you got denied, but it's just like literally not moving. Let's see here. Hopefully it helps. If I see your comment later, then I'll follow up. Okay, Sunny. But for Canadians, it doesn't seem to take as long as other countries, but there's, again, not a black and white number. I would say if I had to pick a number based on our experience, it'd probably be at least 6 months. I know you don't like that. No one likes that. Am I noticing a lot of marriage interviews being waived? Apply for I-130 and I-45 in May and nothing so far. Yeah, we have. I mean, our average where someone is eligible to apply for adjustment status, the 485 form in America and stay here, or by exception, then is generally 3 to 5 months without an interview. even with the interview, we've had 3 to 5 months, and we filed this year, early this year. The one I can think of right off the top of my head was like we filed in mid-June, and the interview happened end of September. So if my math is correct, that's about 3 months, right on a dot. So yeah, so still in 2023. So good luck to you, Giselle, but no promises on what's going to happen in 2024 because USCIS doesn't always update us about everything they're doing. We just have to piece it together as attorneys. Let's see here. Hello, Okan, what's going on? Thank you for your nice message. Your husband's case was filed in September 2021. Are you a resident or a U.S. citizen? You're DQ'd in May 2023. Okay, so yeah, that's 7 months ago. About when do I think we should expect them to schedule? Where is the country nationality as well? I need to know that. But again, I just don't have a magic ball of answers. I wish I did, especially for this situation. Jack, you say, is it wait 4 years if your immigrant spouse is from India, or is it sooner to join with? I think, Jack, you should probably call in, schedule a strategy session, because it seems like hypothetical, but I don't know if it's about you. So I don't know what 4 years you're talking about, or if you're a resident. There's a lot of back and forth. So give us a call, okay? We're happy to talk with you. Thanks for your question. But in general, Jack, what I meant to say earlier is that you may, even if the order removal is vacated, so because I don't know, you're talking about, because now you say spouse. Earlier you're talking about parent, I think. But yeah, I don't know if the spouse has a removal order also, but may need to consider a 601A waiver. Okay. All right. What's up, Marcaz? Your friend was scammed by U.S. Embassy. He won the lottery. They put him in administrative process. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. Okay, so because if your friend was already had the interview, it's too late now, right? Because if he was part of the prior fiscal year's visa allotment, they can't issue the diversity visa anymore. I'm very sorry to hear about your friend in that situation. As far as I know, but yeah, they never got back to him until lottery expired. This is part of one of the tricks that USCIS or State Department has in their bag. It's very unfortunate. So yeah, even if you had the interview, doesn't matter. You got to get that visa before the fiscal year transfers over to the next year. So that was for diversity visas. Is that for other type of visas? No, it's not like that for other visas. DQ November 2020 F1 Granada Caribbean F1. Let me look at it. I happen to have it open right now. F1 2020. Oh, you got a long time. Oh, DQ. I don't know. What's your priority date? That's a key thing, really. Well, I mean, DQ date is helpful too. But in terms of visa bulletin, I need to know a priority date. Unfortunately, visa bulletin, they don't have anything about or the State Department does not have a webpage chart about DQ with a particular country. That would be nice. But I think they want to they don't want too many lawsuits. So, because if Congress required the government to process cases in a X amount of time, I'm pretty sure they'd have a lot of lawsuits by now. So sometimes laws are not created on purpose, and it's not in our benefit in this situation. Let's see. Day, your visa is about to expire, but your husband just submitted I-130 form. Okay, great. In that case, should stay. Well, did you file the 485? Are you eligible? Well, you enter with a visa. That's a good thing. If your spouse, the problem is if your spouse is a resident, then no, you should not stay. Okay. If you could stay, but then you got to apply for a waiver, and that's going to cost another. If you want to hire a lawyer, it's going to cost at least $5,000. Okay. Hopefully, I didn't say the full thing so TikTok doesn't ban me. But But even if you do it yourself, which waivers I really don't recommend, it takes a lot more work. Um, so let us know, Day, on TikTok. Um, but what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, oh, the processing time. Waivers right now, 601A is taking at least like 4 to 5 years. So that's after the petition is approved. You cannot file the waiver while the petition's, like, you file a petition tomorrow, which you recently filed, it looks like. But yeah, I just don't recommend it. It's a long journey. So, but if your spouse is a citizen, then that's different. You can see how quickly. This is how we can do strategy session in 15 minutes, by the way, because I train my team to be able to accurately provide this kind of information in a timely manner. So, by the way, folks, there's a great time to mention we do offer a strategy session for 15 minutes. Of course, we're happy to go over if need be, but we usually schedule every 30 minutes for a strategy session, and it's no cost to you. Okay, folks, you might have an attorney right now, but we don't want to step on any attorney's toes. But of course, if you contact them, it's been like a month, then that's kind of a problem. But so this is your own case. Think about it as your own health. This is your livelihood. So if someone's about to tell me I need to go for surgery, I would personally get 2 opinions at least. Okay, in general. Um, so if someone tells me, "Hey, I want to talk to an attorney too," hey, that's cool, bro. We're not gonna profess to be the only. There's so many attorneys out there. Okay, folks. We are not able to help everyone. So there's just not like mentally possible. There's just too many people. But it's our pleasure to assist you. Now I was gonna try to find. Okay, so if you're on, I was gonna show on Facebook and YouTube, showing you how to find our form on our website, how to schedule a session. Okay, if you click on number 1, verify now to get a strategy session here for free, then you click that form. And the only one I believe where you can schedule something directly straight from the website is if you pay for one. But we actually don't encourage. We actually don't encourage you to pay for one unless it meets that one of those situations, like you want more than 30 minutes or 15 minutes, like you want at least 30 minutes to an hour, or you have a family member who's detained, okay, in detention center, or it's for EB5, okay? Those are the 3 main situations. Otherwise, typically most people are qualified for the strategy session, no cost. Okay, you filed a VAWA in August 2020, but you still haven't got a decision. Is that normal? Yes, unfortunately, it takes a long time. It's different than U visa, not just the legal requirement, but it's different at least that U visa has a limitation of visas per year. So they have 10,000 visas per year. And it sounds like a lot, but unfortunately, a lot of people are have been abused or have been had a crime happen against them. So anyway, they're working on cases from 2015. But for VAWA, it does take a while. But if your spouse was or that other family member who may have abused you, then if that person was a resident, then it generally just takes longer. It's kind of like the visa bulletin. It does track that. But let me know, okay? I'm curious how long people have been waiting, and especially if their sponsor is a citizen, then we'll consider filing a lawsuit. But we'll take a look more closely at your situation. Okay, I see a couple of comments on multiple platforms, so I'll get to you soon. Abel, can you get U visa with even if you have a permanent bar? I have to check on that. There's a lot of things that you can overcome because you can file that I-192 form to waive permanent bar. Permanent bar typically you have to wait 10 years. So it may depend which permanent bar. April, if you contact us, we'll take a look into it. Yeah, that's a good one. If you're talking about permanent bar when it's related to like a removal order, that is okay. You can still continue forward. Okay. But hopefully you filed it to begin with, because I just don't recommend delaying to file for something like that because you just never know. But especially because um, police departments or law enforcement, some have a time limitation on when to sign off on the certification form. So you definitely want to get on that. All right, let me switch over to, where am I at here? Okay, Okan, you got an interview by the American Embassy in his country. He's in Nigeria. Okay, let me go to your prior comment. Yeah, but Okan, oh, you're a U.S. citizen. Okay. So you're F2, you're immediate relative. Okay. Well, that has nothing to do with the visa bulletin, fortunately. Okay, Okan. So DQ'd 2023 May. Okay. Hopefully you don't need our services, okay? But if you've been waiting, man, you've been waiting till December. If it's like January or February, you still haven't heard anything from the consulate or your embassy in Lagos, Nigeria, contact us, okay? I mean, you're welcome to contact earlier so you can get some more information from us, so you can have more knowledge. Is it completely too early? No, not too early to file a lawsuit, but I don't know why Lagos in certain countries tend to be a little bit slower. But the good thing is that you're immediate relative. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, EK, what RFE would you normally get on AOS case? I didn't send your medical when filed. So in 2023, they would send an RFE, a courtesy RFE for medical. Before 2023, they would send a courtesy notice saying bring the medical exam results in an envelope to the interview. So if you don't get a courtesy notice versus courtesy RFE, then you can get an idea. If you get the courtesy RFE, that means you mail it back. Then that also means your case might get waived for interview. But RFE in other situations, some people, if they especially file your own, you might not have met the minimum poverty guidelines according to the 864P chart. Okay, so that could be it. Maybe you need to show you have a joint sponsor. Maybe your income is exceeding the minimum poverty guideline, but you just didn't complete the form correctly. That's an example. Otherwise, the worst case scenario is they need more bona fide evidence of bona fide marriage, meaning it's legit. Okay. Your spouse is a U.S. citizen. You're F1. Petition has not been approved. Okay, Day. Yeah, I think because you say you just submitted it recently. You're U.S. Your spouse citizen. Okay, great. So I think earlier I don't like to assume things, but for the purpose of the show, just show explain the red flag situation. But glad your spouse is a citizen. So yeah, that means you can file the 485 form. Please don't take this as legal advice because you still need to talk with an attorney. 485 form is one of the main forms, but there's also other forms. All right. So, of course, when you have a strategy session with an attorney, they're not going to tell you every single form because that would kind of defeat the purpose. But we don't mind. Okay. But of course, it depends on your case. All right. Most attorneys don't like to share too much detail, but we do because I hate to say, unfortunately, the USCIS or State Department always wants to give people trouble. So if you want 100% peace of mind from me and my team, at least talk to us. Don't be shy. Give us a call, okay? You can see right up here on Facebook and YouTube is our phone number. And also you can fill out for, answer a few questions on our website, and we'll be happy to help you. All right. By the way, if you're like driving and listening, be careful, please. I know some of y'all have told us that, and I think it's it's cool. I appreciate it, but please be safe. If anything, just give us a follow right up here on TikTok and just message us later. Okay. We want to make sure. So yeah, folks, even if you filed already but now you're really considering help, guidance, we're cool with that. We're happy to help. We do, depend on the situation. We're happy to reduce the fee a bit. But yeah, let's see here. NVC sent case to wrong embassy. Ooh, your child born country is different from home country. Okay, so two things to that. Check the petition because the petition, I can't remember exactly the page number, but see what you put on there, okay? Because some people put the wrong one on accident, not trying to say you did anything wrong, but it's just good practice to check, because otherwise you don't want to go through this whole thing of calling the hotline and whatnot. But let's say you did put the correct embassy and they still got it wrong and they won't transfer it for you without money. And that's because they have a form for that and it costs money. Let me see if I can find the cost. The form number is 824 to transfer the case. They don't title it transfer, but they call it application for action on approved application or petition. Oopsie daisy right there. I need to make my website a little bit larger so you can see. All right, there we go. So I can share my screen on Facebook and YouTube. It does cost $465 to do something that maybe it was the USCIS fault. Okay, so yeah, it sucks, but you got to get it done. Don't wait. And there is a processing time. I think their processing time is on the chart, but I don't know that off the top of my head right now. What's going on? How y'all doing on a Monday? Okay, I realize I got a team meeting very soon, so I can answer one more question. Thanks, everyone, for your patience. Makan, I think I've seen you comment before. Welcome back. Case pending. Court address 5019 Leesburg. But court address 26. What does that mean? Motion to reopen file. Yeah, so Leesburg, Virginia, or church. Yeah, it's the BIA. Okay, it's the BIA. So pretty sure that's the BIA. So anything related to, I mean, Falls Church, Virginia is the BIA location. I think, Leesburg Pike. Okay, I found the address. Yeah, so that's BIA. But you're saying, what's your situation though? Yeah, your original court was 26 Federal Plaza. That's in New York City. I'm familiar with that because I went to school in New York, CUNY Law School. What's that mean? Motion to reopen filed with BIA a year ago. Thanks. Yeah, so that means it sounds like your case is still, your motion to reopen is still pending with Board of Immigration Appeals. So BIA is the immigration courts are here on the lower level. Then BIA is one level up. Okay. So it's a panel of judges that would review your case, and they're generally very slow. It could take like a year or 2 years. But if you're in a situation, Makan, that maybe you could qualify for prosecutorial discretion, let's talk about it. If you don't know what that is, you might need to go to prior video. Okay. What DFK? What do I think about EB1C Jan bulletin? I'm not good at these kind of predictions, so I'm just not going to get into it. But at some point, this is post one thing I can't say. It's ready. We've already been in the new fiscal year, so yeah, it's super frustrating that has not been updated. Still backdated, basically retrogressed, as they call it officially. Okay, I think I can answer one more question. Prior date is May 2016, DQ November 2022. Okay. Let's see if I have it open. Yeah. But anyone that's stuck and you're in DQ stage, you want to, I need to know your country. Oh, Ghana. Okay. And so let me see if I can share my screen here. Okay, so this is chart B. Ghana will be on the left side here. So you said 2016. Yeah, you need to email them again. Okay, email them again. If you're not getting any traction, okay, Paul, in a week or two, give us a call. We'll see what we can do. Of course, you would need to engage in our services and take over your case. Okay. But yeah, your priority date looks like it's already been met in terms of the interview, at least. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Chart A. This is where it gets confusing. So you said you got DQ'd. Okay, that's good. But your priority date is May 2016. So fortunately, your date is still after, your prior date is still after this one on chart A. We were just looking at chart B. Now we're looking at chart A. So it can get a little confusing and frustrating, but that's likely why you haven't been interviewed. Now, some people do receive an interview date before the prior date shows up on this chart that I'm showing on YouTube and Facebook. So it's super frustrating. But then you still don't, some might not get the visa still. And then if you do get the visa before your prior date shows up here on chart A, you got lucky. So don't say anything to anyone else except me. All right. Hopefully that helps, folks. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. If you have talked to our team before, whether it's our attorney or a CARES team socialist, please consider giving us a review, 5-star review. Go to reviewteamlaw.com. I greatly appreciate it. Our team will greatly appreciate your time. Just a few, like 60 seconds or less, because they spend a lot of time learning from me. I train them literally every day. I think they're tired of me. So anyways, thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.